Hello everybody, welcome to Recovery Lab TV. My name's Chris, I'm your coach and sports therapist, and welcome to the day before Cardiff Triathlon. Now, Cardiff Triathlon is my local triathlon. It's down in Cardiff Bay. I'm based in Cardiff, and I've been incredibly lucky enough to be gifted a spot at this year's race, literally last minute. So for those who are part of the community will know that a couple of weeks ago I did Ironman 70.3 Bolton. And whilst I was there, I had a text message from a friend offering me this spot. So I was had a quick look at the dates. It aligned perfectly with my training for the DECA, and I jumped at the opportunity. So here we are. Now, first things first, if you are not a part of the community, please hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you here, and if you are racing this race or interested in doing this race, by all means, let me know in the comment section. Okay, this is my little setup, similar to kind of Ironman races. However, it kind of slightly differs based on the triathlon transition area. We only have one transition area, and we are a local triathlon. It ranges from super sprint, so people just getting into kind of triathlon, right up to their more recent, in the last few years, Legend series, which is a 70.3 distance. Now I'm going to be doing that distance, and this is kind of my kit ready for that. So the main differences between Ironman races and your local kind of triathlon races are the transition bags. You don't really kind of get any sort of bag, so everything will be placed on my little British triathlon towel underneath my bike on the A-frame in which it sits, where my number will be based. Now everything's going to be resting on that towel. Okay, I'm going to be using that towel to kind of dry my feet and kind of get my feet into socks and so on and so forth, but everything's going to be based on that or slightly around that. Okay, now race morning, and I've already started this. In this bottle here, this Yeti bottle, I've got one of these Precision Hydration 1500 tablets. They are electrolyte tablets that I use. Now, I'm a sweaty person, if you will, or salty person. So I tend to, when I train after an event or during an event, I tend to see my salt on my jersey, on my tri-suit as I'm competing. So I tend to go for these 1500 just because it tends to help me fight against cramping. And since I have done so, I haven't had any sort of cramping issues or any issues at all, really. So it's already super hot, it's already incredibly humid. So I've got one of these in my water bottle today that I'm going to be using, and just to keep my electrolytes up so I'm not dehydrating today, then ready in going into the race tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning I'll be waking up, having breakfast, luckily at home. And something I'll be doing is using this water bottle to place in some carb mix. Now I'm going to be putting 30 grams of carbs, and again this mixture has some sodium already in it, but it's 1,000 milligrams per litre. So what I'm going to be doing is chucking in another one of these tablets into my carb mix. So I've got 30 grams and a 1500 ml tablet, and then from the moment I wake up to my race, and then kind of when I leave transition, I will be sipping that drink nice and slowly. And then 30 minutes before the race, when transition closes, I will be taking in one of these 30 gram chews, just to kind of get that last kind of bit of carbs in, ready for me to go. Now I tend to take a gel all the time, 30 minutes before race, but I'm a little low on resources at the moment. I've got to order some more stock, and I'm going to have a chew instead, to be honest. Now, I've got my wetsuit. I'm using the Roka Maverick wetsuit. It's not the latest one. I've had this 5 years now. It's a brilliant suit, and I'm going to be wearing that. I tend to only use that for race days, so it's holding out pretty well, to be honest. Then I've got my normal Ryzen suit. which has been absolutely well tested, well hammered, and I've had that since 2023, maybe 2022, and it's absolutely solid as a rock. So highly recommend those, although they do come with a hefty price tag. Now, something I totally forgot about in Bolton was, and as soon as I got there, I realised baby oil. Now, I place baby oil on my forearms, I place it on my calves, and it just helps the wetsuit come off super easy in transition area. So by all means, try that little tip. And then I will slap on some chamois before the race. Now, just be aware that if you are a bit of a nervous person and you need the toilet a million times, take your chamois to transition, and then that way you're not putting it all on at home or in the hotel and then go into the race and then wiping it all off and then kind of being stuck with no chamois cream on or anything like that. So chuck it on in transition, use the toilet, then slip this on, stick it in your bag or something like that, or your transition bag, and then help yourself. If you don't want to be carrying a big pot, something I do for my last transition, and in Ironman races I tend to do it for T1 and T2, is put a bit of chamois cream in a bag inside out, and then that way you can literally flip it inside out and use it as a glove, stick it down your tri-suit, wipe everything that needs to be wiped, and then you haven't got any on your hands ready for gripping your bike or just going out and having to eat more chews or more gels or whatever. And I'm a sensory person, if you will, so I don't like any of that stuff on my hands anyway. Now, something I always use, whether it's in the pool or in the sea, is surf ears. I had an incredible ear infection in my left ear back in 2020 during the pandemic. I was swimming a lot. I was doing roughly about 15 hours in the sea with coaching, and it led to me having this incredible ear infection. These are incredible, and I wear them all the time. Every time I'm in water, I wear these, whether it's surfing, swimming, coaching, whatever. On the paddle boards, literally surf ears, can't recommend them enough. As well as using Body Glide. Now, I use it on my neck, literally from the hairline right the way down to my trap, because your wetsuit does move up and down. Same with as you're sighting and lifting your head up, your swim cap is going to rub your neck. And it's something I certainly notice more when shaving my head, is how much the swim cap will rub your head, because you're getting a bit of fold of skin as you're looking up and sighting. And naturally in a pool that doesn't happen, okay? And then I wear my well used, as you can see by the box, Speedo Competitive Fastskin Elite Mirrored Goggles, right? That's a mouthful. But for me, that just sits into my eye socket really well. I always put my goggles underneath my swim cap, purely because it offers that little bit more protection just in case someone knocks your head and doesn't take your goggles clean off your face. So always wear your goggles underneath your swim cap, and then that way you've got a little bit extra protection. So coming out of the swim into transition. As I'm coming out, I've literally popped up out of the water thanks to the volunteers helping grabbing people out of the water. Now I tend to, as I'm running, quickly unzip the back, slide it down to my waist, so then when I get to the bike, all I have to do is then step out of it. I'm going to grab my towel in this transition. I'm going to then dry my feet. Now for me, not necessarily for the bike, but more for the run, I love these trainers, right? But because of the shape of my foot, I tend to, just on the inside arch, just by here, get a little bit of wear and tear. So what I tend to do on race day, just as a precaution, is 2 little Compeed plasters. I'll just place one on either side of my feet, and then it stops that and reduces that from happening. Now, because I know that about myself and about my feet, I do that in preparation. Because of the layout and transition, I will be doing this on the bike, so I don't have to mess around and take my socks off and so on. In Bolton, I wore 2 pairs of socks. because of the weather, and we kind of had a rainy day and so on and so forth. So I changed my socks and put fresh socks on, dried my feet, and then applied the plasters in T2. So just be aware of the weather you're going to go into and the type of transition that it's going to be, okay? So I'm going to be doing that T1. I'm going to have my race number placed in the No Pins race bib. Now, that's the name of the brand. And this kind of race bib I've had for years is absolutely hammered. It's fallen apart and kind of needs a new one, really. But until it absolutely breaks, then I'm not going to be buying another one. They're brilliant because all your number does is it slides in this little poly pocket, and then it kind of like sits around your waist, and you just slide it around to your back, and it's on your back. And then when you get into transition again, all you then do is just pull it around to the front. Now, a ton of people I see all the time on triathlon is their number will kind of tear or come out, or they're trying to then tuck it in, or they're stressing, especially first timers. And this just takes away the stress of it. Plus also, I find because of the kind of protective cover, if it is a disgusting day, it looks after the race bib. So if this is your first time and you want to get that framed for your house, or like in my house, I have a little wall of achievement, right? If you want to stick that on there, then it's nice enough to then slide into a little frame, and you can then stick it on the wall without it being torn, broken, damaged, and then kind of unusable, if you will. From there, I've got my helmet, which I'm going to apply my stickers onto later once I've gone to transition. I use this little Mukoff magic bottle, if you will, that has basically kind of, because I ride a tubeless setup, this has a load of special foam inside that, and CO2, that if I do have some sort of flat, that I can literally just nick the sharp out, pop that on, and it will then fill my tube up with this special protective stuff that reinflates and seals my tire, and then I can take it to a bike shop after the race. But I always carry one of those just as a precaution. I had to think then. And then my sunglasses that I wear. It tends to keep any kind of bugs or flies out, and then I like to think I look a little bit cooler. For the bike setup, what I'm doing is going to be running an X-Lab Torpedo. I absolutely love the torpedoes. My Garmin will sit just by here, just like so, and then I can see all my data as I'm riding in that aero position between my handlebars, whilst kind of taking on fluids. Now, I've got my Garmin set up to tell me to drink every 10 minutes, and it tells me to eat every 15 minutes. So, and I'm not eating, say, a whole bar at a time, like for example, the chews or flow gel I'll be using. It's just a small mouthful. It's just a small bite, if you will, right? That allows me to graze as I'm performing, so it's not too heavy on my stomach. And since using Precision Fuel and Hydration, it has worked incredibly well. I absolutely recommend this company. Their website is incredibly helpful and allows you to write customized plans for your races. And also, it's super simple. There's 300 grams of carbs in here. There's literally 30 in the chews. There's 30 in the gels. You can get 60 gram chews now. And it just super simple. Can't recommend it enough. So this flow gel will be going into this flow bottle, fills it up to 300 grams, and this is going to be my main fuel source for the bike ride. As well as in my water bottles, I will be having more 1500 salt tablets. So then I get the combination of the right amount of salts and the right amount of carbs for me to get through at the level in which I want to perform. Now, last but not least, it is a very warm day, and it is very humid already. Tomorrow is meant to be the hottest day of the week, which is great, but not so great for racing. Now I bought this for a recent holiday that I went on, and it's kind of like a neck and face and just a touch-up kind of balm, but similar to the Body Glide. It's a sun cream version by Sunbum, and all you have to then do is kind of wind it up, rub it anywhere you want to rub, and it's then literally protects you for a good few hours. This one is 30 SPF. Now, naturally, coming off the bike, I'm going to be coming back in transition, dumping this gear and picking up this gear. I've got my chamois cream because what I found was in Bolton after the bike course, I needed more chamois cream, and it was the best thing ever because it was a super wet day on the bike. I was super sore down below, and it was starting to rub where I was kind of trying to push myself so much. And this instantly gave a relief. It is incredible chamois cream. It's by Mukoff. It's Athlete Performance Chamois Cream. Can't recommend it enough. I've literally just picked up 3 more tubs ready for the DECA challenge that I'm going to be doing the end of next month. On Amazon at the moment, they've got a great deal on it, so it's half price. So by all means, if you want, check that out. Got my running trainers, my performance trainers. Hopefully will help me do my best time, because I'm hoping for a sub 6 time tomorrow, which will be my fastest ever 70.3 distance. I've gone with the white cap tomorrow just because of the sun. I'm lucky enough to have a few of these caps, so extra heat. It's going to be the first time wearing that in a race. And then I've got a couple shoes. Now what I'm going to be doing is taking one shoe, so they're 2 little blocks if you will, and looking to kind of eat one every kind of half an hour if you will. So I'm getting kind of 30 grams an hour off the back of carb loading here, ready for the run, and then job done, should be good. It worked brilliantly in Ironman Bolton. I ended up running 2:04 for the half, which was really good for me and much better than I anticipated because of the nature of the course. And also it's been a while since I've done a lot of pace work. So for me, running a 6:04 Ironman at Bolton with the wind and the weather and a tough day out was an incredible overall performance for me. Now, something I'm going to be doing race morning and taking with me as I go there tomorrow morning is my North Face bag, and it's just a rucksack that I'm going to be using because for Cardiff Triathlon they have these little marquee tents where you can store bags, and you kind of have your little race bib numbers attached to them as part of the little athlete registration gift pack that they give you. It ties onto your bag, similar to the little All World Athlete one that I have here from Ironman, but I'm going to tie it up there, and then that way it'll have my details on, something to identify me by, and then I can store stuff like a pair of sliders in there, like my bottle from the morning and so on and so forth, or I'm going to be wearing like a hoodie just to keep me warm in the morning, just in case it's really cold in the morning, and I can dump it in there, have that ready for afterwards. So then all I have to do then is take these trainers off and slide my sliders on, and I can relax and rest my feet, because after a long day out like this, it's always nice to relax and take your shoes off. And then that way, if you want to stay down the bay for some food, for some drinks, to celebrate with loved ones and family, friends, whatever, or even just to continue supporting people on the race, it's nice to take your feet out of your trainers and chuck your sliders on, and then be back out there on the side of the course cheering everybody on, so that you're enjoying your day, and you're also then supporting those athletes that are still out there putting the work in. So yeah, this is my kit at the moment. I'm pretty sure I've got everything. Like I said last time, I forgot the baby oil, but yeah, I'm feeling pretty content. I'm going to go down to transition now as it opens up at 12 and it's currently 20 to 12. And then, yeah, I'll take you along for the journey. So by all means, check out that video. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Hope you have an incredible day. And like I said, please, if you can, subscribe to the channel. It really, really helps. And ultimately, every person subscribing, I appreciate you greatly. And ultimately, you're making my dream come true by doing so. So thank you very much. Thanks for coming along the journey. And I wish you nothing but the best. Take care.